student who plans to pursue a degree in engineering or science. This year, I am most honored to present the first Michael Christian Jensen Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $1,000 to Blake Braderius.
Good afternoon and congratulations to the class of 2013. I'm happy to present the Nelson family's Loftus Manufacturing Scholarships to 4 recipients, each in the amount of $500. The first recipient is Tyler Pegenkoff. The next recipient is Trent Benson. Our third recipient is Carly Schmaltz. And finally, Samantha Swanson.
Pro-Ag of Renville County is committed to the continued education and development of agriculture. The All-Ag celebration that is held in March of each year allows for funding of these educational activities. On behalf of Pro-Ag of Renville County and the Renville County HRA/EDA, we would like to congratulate Miranda Kramer and Shana Wallstrom for being selected to each receive a $500 scholarship. It is now my honor to present the Ralph Larson Agricultural Scholarship. This scholarship is awarded to an active FFA member that is pursuing a career in agriculture. The recipient receiving $500 is Ms. Crystal Malo.
I'm today wearing my class ring from 1951. To give you an idea, it cost me about $11 or $12. Made by Jostens, just like most of them have been every year since. As was the custom then, I wound up giving my class ring to someone I was going steady with. And of course the girls would usually take and wrap tape around it so that it'd fit in their finger, they'd put it around their neck. Well, in my case, I happened to get it back about 3 years later. I exchanged it for a wedding ring. To give you a little idea, a car back then was a really good four-door Chevrolet, Ford, Studebaker, Plymouth, $1,100, $1,000 maybe. Gold was about $40 an ounce. So a lot has happened since then. But in the 9 years that has passed, there's been some pretty special things happen. When Clark came here, Doc Clark, I usually call him Chief, he had a vision that Hector would be the school of choice for the surrounding area. There was a great danger of never having a football field or baseball field again. Basketball would go someplace else. Computerization, would we be a leader or would we be a follower? And I remember one of the first things back there when most of you kids didn't have laptops or iPads. He asked me if we had put in a cart with computers, and that is still in use today. Kind of one of the first things. Another time he asked me, he says, and most of you people came either through that way or this way. And I'm talking now about legacy, excuse me. I've been on the Augsburg board for many years, off one time for a while, and the president kept asking me as a board member, he says, what can be my legacy? And I told him I would think about it and try to help him, but to tell the truth, and he was the immediate past president, as a matter of fact, I really couldn't think of anything. Now, in the case of Dr. Clark, there's all kinds of legacies. The schools in Minnesota will miss him as kind of the leader. They let Clark do it when it come to tough negotiations. When this governor held back $2.7 billion a few years back, it was a lot of negotiating to keep the school going, wound up a big loan from a big bank that schools could draw on. So the state will miss him too, but we'll miss him. And as far as legacy, when this area out here, you may remember the curb, this road was all banged up, there was other things wrong with it. He came to me and he says, really, we should have a whole new approach here, and you may not even remember what it looked like before, but it looks awful nice now. The parking lot never was, it was originally put in when I was on the school board years ago, and it was just intended to be a light top. It, of course, broke up, so he asked if I wouldn't help if he engineered and took care of it and get the whole parking lot done out here that is now used, and everybody doesn't have to worry about getting dirty and whatever when they come in. Keeps your cars nice and clean too. The school bus, he thought maybe we should put a new tennis court in case the kids wanted to play basketball down there, making every opportunity he could. And that was done at his urging. I can think of so many things, but the ballpark, of course, was just done a couple years ago. The concession stand and the bathrooms and everything, once it came about that, whoops, if you're going to put it in, you have to do everything according to state specifications, and he, of course, handled all of that. There's a lot of things when you look around, but I've always been more than glad to do them, but it takes someone to have the vision, and the vision that he had for Hector was to be the best that they can around here. So he would bring the ideas, and I was always glad to finance them for him. So I really have to hand it to him. I'm going to ask him to help hand out the scholarships to speed up, because I've used a lot of your time. And maybe, Chief, if you can hand them out, I'll just call off their names, okay? By the way, I don't know if you know about Lily of the Valley, but they have an unbelievable smell. And for those of you who've been coming up, you're wondering why it smells so much. They were tucked underneath. And I hope, Rick, when you smell those now and in the future, when you smell Lily of the Valley, you'll think of this last day. Okay? On with the scholarships. In honor of our dad, who taught me a lot, including how to throw a curveball, Blake Berderius. In honor of my mother, Sophie Sampson, who did so much for me, Michaela Paulson. And in memory of Marion's dad, Elvin Walter, we're honored to give one to a boy that come from a country that really helped in the Second World War, Bulgaria, Alex Stark. And in honor of Marion's mother, which some of you know, we also have a really nice little puppy named after Addie Walter, Tyler Pagankoff. And in memory of Wayne Dietz, who many remember as the guy that, while we were playing football in a period of 10 years, we won 95% of our football games. Wayne Dietz scholarship goes to Samantha Swanson. And in honor of a longtime employee of the school, who now helps me with my cars and so forth, and who is down at Duke University, recovering very nicely from a total lung transplant, Lance Sorensen, Miranda Kramer. And in memory of my all-time favorite teacher, 5th and 6th grade, Audrey Dahl, who became Audrey Dahl Stanton, lived mainly Buffalo Lake, Dana Winkelman. And in recognition of Canterbury Park Holding Company, which kind of a fun deal for us, Crystal Mail.
The Stuart Lions will be giving out 3 $500 scholarships. Ankia Shook? No. And Shank. Zachary Yates. Trent Benson. I also want to talk just a moment about the upcoming Harlem Ambassadors basketball game here in Hector on the 4th of November. The 3 Lions clubs, Hector, Buffalo Lake, and Stuart, are the ones promoting it, and all the income from this basketball game will go back into the school system through clubs and other organizations. We are still looking for some sponsors, and we're looking for some basketball players. We need 20 players to play against the Harlem Ambassadors as they come here. We have to have rooms and other things, but that's taken care of. So anybody that would like to volunteer, maybe some of you old guys out there could help us out. Dr. Clark probably won't be here but some of the rest of you, we need some players. And I imagine those guys are probably 6'10". I know there's one lady in the group that plays with the Harlem Ambassadors. So that's coming on. The tickets will be $5 for kids, $7 for adults, and they'll be on sale fairly soon. Thank you very much.
Years ago, the school asked that each class of graduating seniors choose someone to receive a staff recognition award. This person could be a bus driver, cook, custodian, teacher, or any other staff member who who our class felt made our experiences at BLHS both successful and enjoyable. This year, it is my honor to present this award from the class of 2013 to Mrs. Pamela Hobb.
First and foremost, the students, families, as well as the staff and administration of BLHS would just like to take a special thank you to those that have provided for these post-secondary awards. There are a couple of others that will add to the total of a little over $30,000 that this graduating class has